The views and opinions expressed on all radio shows broadcast on KYOK are entirely those of the host, guests, and callers who are entirely responsible for all show content and do not in any way reflect the opinions of KYOK Radio, its sponsors, staff, or management.
When you walk out on that field today, ask yourself this question. What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's go! We ready! We ready! We ready! We ready! I'm going to the house! I'm going to the house! When I step on the field, I send one message. And this is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. Football is getting hit. That's it. It's gonna be football now. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? It's hot now. It's hot now. Let's go. It's hot. We ready? I'm going to the house. I'm going to the house. We're talking about the Jets like we're talking about the Saints. You know, all this, I love we the Miami Heat of football. Yeah. The bottom line is you got to buckle up your chin straps. It's embarrassing. Yeah. Don't disrespect the game like that. It's too much crying from him. He's a man. They can be a hit just like us. He's a man. You already make the big money. He's a man. Don't cry when you step on the field, man. That's who I am. When I step on the field, your day, brother. One message. This is what it feels like. Oh, my bad. You had no work in my world. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We ready? I'm going to the house. I'm going to the house. It's a wrap. Game over.
Oh no. This game is just getting started right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. I'm AJ Jones, and I tell you what, man, I didn't know if I wanted to come in today or not because I just knew Keith Hennick was going to just act a complete fool today, and it's his day. He can do what he wants today. He can't cuss. He can't, he can't blaspheme the Holy Spirit, but Keith Hennick can do what he wants to do on the show today. Brother, it is your day. It is your day today, Keith. And I tell you what, man, I'm happy for you. I am happy for you, and I just wanna hear what you got to say today because it is official. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are the Super Bowl 55 champions, and I got to be honest, I didn't see this one coming. I did not see this one coming. First of all, I didn't think they would win the NFC South. They didn't. The Saints won that, but that feels real hollow right now. And then I didn't think they would win the Super Bowl. I thought the Kansas City Chiefs would do that, and they didn't. So right now, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are the Super Bowl champions. And just seeing one of the Glazier brothers up there last night holding the trophy and talking about, yeah, we got the right guy. We got the guy that's been to 10 Super Bowls, now won 7 of them, Tom Brady. It did something to my spirit, man. I had a pain in my stomach. You know, when you were little and you didn't want to go to school, and the first thing you come up with, my stomach hurt. My stomach hurt last night. It did. I'm happy for the city of Tampa. I loved my time in Tampa. In fact, my second most favorite city. Houston, number 1. New Orleans is not number 2. Cincinnati is not number 2. Atlanta is not number 2. It's Tampa. I loved my time in Tampa. Absolutely loved it. Wish it had been longer. Wish it had been long. A lot of stories about me in Tampa. A lot of stories. Can't tell them all, won't tell them all. But a lot of great times, great memories in Tampa. And I am glad to see the Buccaneers hoist another title. Let me go to the phone line. I think it might be who you think it might be. Hello, you're live on the lunch break. Who's this?
It's Keith Hennig.
It's the man of the day. It's your day, brother. It's your day. You can't cuss, but you can say what you want. Don't take your clothes off. You do what you want. Just it's your day, bro. It's your day.
Well, I don't gloat, and I don't scream and run around, but last night was a very, very good night. And today is a very good day. And there is one person and one person alone who won that Super Bowl for the Bucks. TB came through, and I'm not talking about Brady.
Yep.
Todd Bowles
just
beat the pants off the Chiefs.
They didn't have an answer. They did not have an answer for Todd Bowles' defense at all last night.
Oh, no. He had them figured out. And to see Patrick Mahomes running backwards for 15 or 20 yards really warmed my heart. It was just a great game. And I'm a little hoarse today because there was some shouting in my house, quite a bit actually. And all I got to say, it was a long time coming and worth every season.
Well, brother, I'm happy for you. I'm happy for the city of Tampa. Good people down there. Really enjoyed my time down there at Tampa. Got some really good friends, college classmates down there. Big shout out to Dr. Jacinta Bugs Morrison and her family. Shout out to the Bible Days church down there where I was a member while I was there. And all my colleagues down there from AT&T, big shout out to them. Great win for the city. Great win for the fans. Long overdue. Hadn't had that since what? 2000, 99? When was it?
No, 2002.
2002. Yep.
And after years and years and years of disappointment, Todd Bowles made that happen. I want him to be around next year and then take the reins as the Bucs head coach the following year.
And you know what? That's the interesting thing. We got Keith Hennig joining us, Caller of the Year 2020. The interesting thing is y'all got two legit head coach candidates right there in Tampa.
You're right.
I mean, come on.
Right.
Not as much as the Kansas City Chiefs couldn't figure out Todd Bowles' defense, the Byron Leftwich offense did not disappoint at all, and it did what it needed to do because those were 31 offensive points, not defensive points or special teams.
Oh, that is true. Old Brady threw 3 touchdown passes, and Leonard got a rushing touchdown. I was thrilled for him.
I am so happy for that young man. I mean it, man. I cannot tell you how good it felt to see that young man just and like he said after the game, he made a tweet that he's not playoff Lynn. He is Super Bowl Lynn. I love that, brother. I loved it.
Well, I'll tell you what. He paid his dues with Tom Coughlin, and who's laughing now?
Yep.
And I hope he's in a Buck uniform for the next 10 years. He is an incredible young man.
What's crazy is the Texans had a chance to get him, and they opted for David Johnson.
Well, that was a very smart move on Billow's point. I will say that. That's very, very smart.
Yeah. But man, I again so happy for those coordinators. Real happy for Bruce Arians. Bruce Arians, man, I tell you what, I haven't been a fan of everything he's had to say, about tackle football and concussion protocols and all that. But last night when he said it was these guys, it was them. They put in the game plans. They did this. They did that. They drew up the plays. It was their victory. I appreciated that. I valued that. I respect it.
Oh, I do too. Because he really, as he said, quote, I didn't do a damn thing.
Yep.
He did not do much. I was so impressed with Todd Bowles that I want to see him in a Buccaneers outfit until he's 90 years old.
I tell you, again, man, y'all can't go wrong with any of those guys. Cannot go wrong with any of those guys. I think I had an appropriate tweet when I said last night, if it stays the way it is, don't come for Eric Bieniemy on the other side, because remember, The knock on him is he doesn't call plays. So, but just the opposite on the Tampa Bay side. Byron Leftwich, great game plan. Todd Bowles, a phenomenal game plan defensively. It was a great night. It was just a great night.
It was, and I'm not a big Brady guy at all, but I really appreciated his performance last night. Thought he did extremely well, and
I like that he gave credit to the players as well. He didn't take it all for himself and said it's these guys, and again, very, very good to see. And so much has been written about his arm and his durability and and he was zipping the ball last night and putting it where it needed to be, literally on every single throw. Great night by Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Absolutely. Put him right on the numbers, did his job, did it masterfully, and all around today, I'm just a real happy fellow. This will wear off by June, but I'm going to enjoy the next 3 or 4 months.
Bro, you ain't got to let it wear off. I'd stay on that bad boy for as long. Look, it shouldn't wear off until next February 2022.
Well, we got a lot of football between then and February 22. We'll just have to see. But keep up the good work. Great show so far today, and I'm looking forward to the rest of it.
Well, I got to announce the winner of the Lunch Break Weekly Keeping Up with the Joneses Super Bowl Challenge, and somebody today is going to be named as the winner of $600. And Keith, you will not believe how close it was, bro.
I can't wait to find out.
All right, man. We'll talk about it. We'll make that announcement in just a little bit. Congratulations again, Keith. Well deserved, man.
Thank you so much. You guys have a wonderful day.
All right, you too. Keith Hennick, caller of the year 2020. All right, I got another caller holding. So, caller, you stay right there. I'm gonna take a quick break, and I'll come back with our next caller right here on the lunch break. If you want to get in, give your thoughts about the Super Bowl, please do. 281-453-1000. That's 281-453-1000. Just a little quick fact: 371 players have gotten Super Bowl rings with Tom Brady. 371 players, if not more, because that doesn't even count the practice team squad, the injured reserve guys who also get rings. But 371 plus players have gotten Super Bowls with Tom Brady.
Hi, my name is Lily. My mom and dad used to fight about money all the time. Then one day, I heard them talking about this guy, some uncle I never knew, called Uncle Sam. Well, they say this Uncle Sam guy wanted them to pay him like $1 gazillion, and they didn't have $1 gazillion. So they called this company they heard on the radio called the Tax Doctor. And the Tax Doctor worked with Uncle Sam's people. I think they're called the IRS. And they're able to work it out so my mom and dad didn't have to pay Uncle Sam very much money at all. So now mom and dad are happy, and I'm happy too. Thanks, Tax Doctor.
If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS or state, call now and pay less. 800-603-9359. 800-603-9359. That's 800-603-9359. Here's an important COVID-19 school system update for your local area. If you're concerned about your child's education, please pay close attention to this message. The current school systems were not set up for at-home learning. If you're worried that your child may not be getting the grades they need to get ahead, may be losing self-confidence, or you're worried about them getting into a good college because of their grades, help is available to you. Call Grade Potential Tutoring. They can help with in-home or online tutoring and help your child with any subject at every grade level, even for test prep. They're experts in the home tutoring and online tutoring field and confident they can help you and your child get better grades today. Call now for your free consultation. 800-580-7680. 800-580-7680. 800-580-7680. That's 800-580-7680.
Yes, KYOK, 1140 AM and 92.3 FM. The legend continues.
Hi, this is TJ from South Park. I listen to the lunch break with AJ Jones on 1140 AM and 92.3 FM.
All right, y'all. We are back on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. Let me go to the phone line. It is Black History Month. Got a lot of Black History stuff I'm going to talk about. But let me go to the phone line first. Hello, you're live on the lunch break. Who's this?
Brother AJ, Ferdinand.
Ferdinand, caller of the year 2017. What's happening, brother?
Man, I just want to say, AJ, congratulations to all the winners that participated and was a part of the Super Bowl. Hard Bowls, what can we say about him, AJ? Went from a head coach to a defensive coordinator. One thing about greatness, guys, you can't take anything away from greatness. He did exactly what he needed to do. Defenses definitely can help you win the game. When it comes to age, AJ, I wish people were talking about it. There's nothing wrong with Tom Brady. Tom Brady is at least in the NFL in your top 5 quarterbacks, if not your top 3. Age is nothing but a number. I can reflect, AJ, and you may quote me on this. I think it was Sarah that bore a child at 82, was it?
No, she was 90.
Okay, come on, 90. Yeah. Listen, everybody. Sarah had a child at 90. So you can't tell me what age is. Tom is in good shape, great shape.
Yeah.
So if he desired to come back 2 or 3 years, man, I applaud an athlete who can, take their game to another level.
Yeah, man, I got to tell you, I can't be mad because everything worked out for Tampa Bay. Tom Brady did what he was supposed to do, didn't turn the ball over. Gronk was on point, and Gronk's catches were great, phenomenal, good stuff. His blocking was out of this world. They literally did not have to double team certain defensive players because Gronk shut him down with his blocking. And then, Leonard Fournette running the ball, them throwing the ball. Every time somebody had a chance to do what they needed to do to make a play for Tampa, they did it. They did it and got the win.
And let us not take anything from Fournette, a team that ridiculed him and tried to throw him away like he was a nobody. When you can allow people who AJ believes in themselves and know what they can do, man, they'll never give up. In this life, I don't care who you are, what color you are, man, do not never give up on you. When you know you have a chance to make yourself better and great, you continue to go. I don't care what your naysayers say, keep pressing. And AJ, sky's the limit for anybody.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And I've had a lot of people, reach out to me after the show and say the incidents with Coughlin and Fournette were not racial, and it was just, personalities, and, you got to have subordination when you have a manager, employee kind of role. I don't have a problem with that. But to try to destroy the man's character, to literally try to run him out of the league is inexcusable. And if that's the kind of manager that Tom Coughlin was, then he rightfully so needs to be out of the league. I'm one of the hardest managers you will ever meet. When you're doing what you're supposed to do, you get nothing but praise from me. When you're not doing what you're supposed to do, I'm going to try to coach you up. I'm going to try and remind you. I'm going to try and run interference to help you be successful. But after the 3rd or the 4th time, you still haven't done it, and it doesn't appear that you look like you want to do it. Oh, yeah, but ain't nobody going to ride you harder than me. But never will I try to destroy a person's character. I will get you out of my organization so you'll get to the organization where you want to be and where you'll do the best job. It's not always personal when somebody gets fired or fired swiftly. Sometimes it's just to get you out of the way so the work can get done. But Tom Coughlin, what he did to Leonard Fournette, inexcusable. He should be ashamed of himself.
Well, if it wasn't racial, some things is worse than being racial. It's personal. When you have a personal vendetta against a player, somebody you don't like just because they can't not doing everything you would want them to do, I mean, you can't take personal vendettas out on people. It's a team sport. You're the coach. You're there to coach talent. Now, we know every young man have a different personality. Some of them have, behavior problems. It's your job as not only as a coach but as a leader to be able to get through that individual. Maybe, AJ, sometimes it take a day, sometimes it takes 6 months or a year. But if they're on your team, we it's a teachable moment in everything we do, around every situation. So it's our job to not to belittle, tear down, or break down any individual, but to be of great help to everybody, and this world be a much better place. If you want America to be great again, AJ, continue to teach what thus said the Lord. We have a better America, and I'll leave you with that.
Well, man, I appreciate you as well, Ferdinand. Thank you for all that you've done, all that you do. And, bro, you're going to be real surprised when you hear the winner of the Lunch Break Weekly Keeping Up with the Joneses Challenge, the playoff edition, Super Bowl edition, because, man, it was close, Ferdinand. Oh, my gosh, it was close.
I know I didn't do it as well as I would like to do, AJ, because, look, if they knew that Le'Veon Bell wasn't going to play, AJ, I promise you I'd have picked Tom Brady.
Yeah.
The only key to Kansas City beating Brady, was Le'Veon Bell. And guess what, AJ? The game plan didn't work for Andy.
Right.
But if you put that trump card that you went and got into the game, the game would have been different. I know he has a format. He tried to stick with his format. But sometimes, AJ, you got to get away from the format. You can't go with your running back if they're not giving you what you need.
Right.
Go with somebody that you went and got. It didn't work. I'm not mad. I don't care who won, AJ, man. I picked the team that I thought Le'Veon was gonna play. But if he wasn't gonna play and I knew it, man, Tom was my man.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Hey, man, AJ, I enjoy it. Man, I appreciate you. I appreciate the lunch breakers. I appreciate Chi-Town, Marlo, all of the lunch, man. I love you guys. And if I didn't win, guys, I'm not mad. I'm elated.
Well, brother, you were close. You were the only one that didn't pick Tom Brady and them to win. So I'll be announcing it in just a little bit.
Absolutely. Have a good one.
All right, you too. All right, ladies and gentlemen, everybody, stop what you're doing, because I'm about to ruin the image and the style that you used to. I got all the way from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm talking about the queen of the Black College Experience. It is none other than Keisha, Kelley, MBA. What's up, Keisha?
Now, you see that I changed. I'm actually on my phone. I don't know what's going on with the internet, that Xfinity does its own thing. Like, it literally does its own thing every single day. I'm in here trying to create a story, and then it's like, connect your Wi-Fi. And I'm like, yo, I got to get the story out. And it was like, connect your Wi-Fi. I was like, you know what? I'll worry with that later. And then the TV went out. I can't get the TV to come on. Then it's like, I need to get my brakes fixed. And I'm like, wait, what is going on? But I went to the store. I didn't worry about it. And I came back and I checked my mailbox, and God said, I got you. And I had a stimulus check in the mail because God said, I got you. God said, I got you.
You better come on with that testimony.
God said, I got you, and he had me. So I was like, oh, okay. We'll just keep it right on moving.
Well, Keisha, Kelley, I'm blessed by every one of your testimonies. I'm blessed by what you're doing. I'm blessed by how you do it. I'm blessed by the fact that it is you doing it. And I mean, I'm so glad to have you today. And I'm glad you were able to make it work one way or another.
One way or another. We just gonna have to make it work.
Well, Keisha, they played a little football game last night in Tampa. And there was
a football game last night?
Yeah, little one. And we'll talk about it. Let me take a quick break. And then when I come back, let's jump into that game. I want to hear your perspective. We got to shout out a young man from, Prairie View, who was holding up the trophy last night. I got a little bit of that. But we'll do all that when we come back from this break. Keisha, Kelley, Black College Experience, joining us, Black History Month, Media Monday, right here on the lunch break. We'll be right back after this.
Are you looking for a tax company that will get you the maximum credits and deductions? Or a tax company that can get you a same-day loan up to $9,500? Well, Global One Tax Services on 6002 Antoine Drive is the tax company that is dedicated
the Prairie View Panthers are all out in force today.
Calls for our mobile services. That's right, Global One Tax. Now mobile. Now you don't have to leave your home. Call 281-377-5565. That's 281-377-5565. Get your full return. You deserve it. You've earned it. Global One Tax Services. Get ready, get set, go global.
Hi, I'm Linda J. I recently purchased 4 new tires from
Keisha, what
OMG
after
Tires
this?
and More.
Okay.
Located at 3124 Tidwell between 59 and Jensen. TK got me in and out in less than 30 minutes. While there, I got my car washed. Do you need rims for your car? OMG has them too. OMG Tires and More is your one-stop shop for all your tire needs. So give them a call at 832-767-3211. That's 832-767-3211. Conveniently located at 3124 Tidwell between 59 and Jensen on the north side.
Legendary KYOK 1140 AM. The legendary KYOK 92.3 FM. Radio stations in one.
I'm Larry Scott, host of the Not So Christian and Me Show. Join me Saturday for great fun, interviews, music, and the latest news surrounding our world today. We are the show that cares to hear your voice and opinion with real conversation in a no judgment zone. So join me Saturday from 1 to 2 p.m. on the Not So Christian and Me Show, right here on the legendary KYOK Radio, 1140 AM, and the all-new 92.3 FM and KYOKradio.org.
Now, back to the lunch break.
All right, y'all, we back up in here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK, all new 92.3 FM. It's Black History Month. It's Media
Can't
Month.
hear you.
And I've got one.
Can't hear you.
Hold on. Let me see what we
Can't
got
hear
going on with Keisha. Hold on, Keisha. Hold on. Mute. Let me unmute. Can you hear me now?
I can't hear you.
Okay. All right. Let me find out how to take you off and get you back on. Hold on. Let me remove and come back. All right. Can you hear me now, Keisha? Can you hear me now?
Still can't hear you.
All right. Do me a favor. Go out and come back in. Okay. All right. We'll get her back in just a second. Keisha, Kelley, and the lunch break. We're going to make this happen today. We're going to make this happen today on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. As I was saying to Keisha, we had a little bit of a football game last night in Tampa. Final score, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 31. The Kansas City Chiefs did not get into the end zone. 3 field goals were all they could manage. Final score 31-9. And again, I got to say congratulations to the Buccaneers. Was an interesting night for everybody involved. While I'm waiting for Keisha, Kelley to come back on, you know what? When I tell you there needs to be some respect on the names of these brothers in this game. There needs to be some respect on the names of these brothers in these games. And one thing I can promise you is this: on the lunch break, they're going to get their respect. They are going to get their respect. On the lunch break, they are going to get their respect. Okay, Keisha, can you hear me now?
I can.
Okay, good. We got it now. Keisha, let me play something real quick. Last night, after the game, a reporter asked a question of Byron Leftwich, the offensive coordinator for Tampa. Here was the conversation.
Going into the game, what was your number one goal on the defensive side to shut Mahomes down, shut that high-powered offensive down? What was your guys' number one goal going into that game?
Shut Pat Mahomes down. I think you got the wrong guy. I had nothing to do with that. That was Todd.
So, in other words, the reporter asked the offensive coordinator about shutting the Pat Mahomes offense down because clearly he didn't know the difference between Byron Leftwich and Todd Bowles, the defensive coordinator, who did in fact shut Pat Mahomes and that Kansas City offense down. You've been in a lot of interview rooms. You've been on a lot of videos. What goes through you when you hear something crazy like that happens and literally that person getting disrespected?
You know, I've seen that happen on more than one occasion, that people are confused. I've seen it on TV. I saw it on news. And to me, I would say, and this is just me, you didn't do enough research. You didn't do enough research.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way I don't know my OC, my DC, and my head coach at Southern.
Right.
There's no way I don't know what the people look like. I don't care if they're the same skin color.
Yeah.
I don't care if they're all male. I know my coaches.
Yeah.
And so to me, you're so fixated on asking a question, you didn't really do the research on the positions. So to me, that's just, I mean, it's just embarrassing, especially considering that you're talking to the winning team. I mean, come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. What's interesting is they were only given limited number of media credentials
Correct.
to be able to get on that stream and ask those questions. And like you just said, when you give those credentials to someone who does not put in the work, that means somebody like you or me who does put in the work does not get that opportunity to get out there and do good work.
And what we find a lot of times, and this is one of the things that I found in is what I call lazy journalism, lazy work. You get the same general questions. People ask the same general questions over and over again. You're gonna ask about shutting down Patrick Mahomes. You're gonna ask the same questions over and over again. It's like, okay, we know the score, we know what happened, we all watched the game. Can you find another question to ask? And please ask the right coach. Please ask the right coach.
Right.
Please.
Right.
Because like you said, if it's limited on the credentials, and this the same thing, like we were limited on for Senior Bowl. We were limited on those calls. So when you're limited on that and you only get a certain amount of time, you only get to ask a certain amount of questions, and it's several people on the call asking the same questions, you want to make sure you ask the best question possible, and you want to make sure that you allow yourself time to research whatever it is that you're going to ask.
Yeah, that's true. I got to tell you, we got Keisha Kelley joining us, Black College Experience here on Black History Month Media Monday. So I have been told here locally by our media relations personnel from the major sports team, professional sports team, that when we ask questions that are not the normal questions, we're asking questions more like fans as opposed to journalists. And that's the part that bothers me, where you need more diversity in those roles, because the right person in that role understands that the fans that listen to my show want to know questions like that, as opposed to the fans that listen to maybe ESPN or Fox Sports or somebody like that.
So when I met Pam Oliver back almost a year ago, last year when I met Pam Oliver, that was one of the things we talked about. And so she said, a lot of times people will ask the same questions over and over again. She was like, and these coaches get tired of, okay, we know your stats. We know your numbers. We know what the outcome was. Like, ask something different. And so I do. And as they can say as a fan or whatever they consider it as, but when I walk into a room as the Black woman in sports, okay, everybody else, if it's 10 people beside me, they've asked about the game. They asked about offense. They asked about defense. So I'm always the person that's going to dig a little bit deeper. I'm going to ask you something that nobody think or thought to ask. Hence how I got to where I got to with Deion Sanders. When I talked to Deion Sanders, it's always going to be something off the scale. Look for a phrase. Look for something that's completely different from, you can only ask somebody the same question in so many different ways.
Right.
And I think that's what we do. And a lot of times people want to appear to be a ESPN or NFL network. They want to appear to be in those spaces. And I'm like, listen, when Black College Experience walks in the room, if we're talking to a coach, I don't care if it's a Deion Sanders, we talking on a Black college level.
Exactly.
I'm going to talk to you like we're on a Black college level. I'm going to ask you questions that is centered around the Black College Experience.
Yep. And I appreciate you doing that, because again, if we have one culture, one mindset, one style, doing everything from media relations to the questions, to the journalism, to the broadcasting, you name it, then guess what? We will never get a perspective that covers the Black college experience, the KYOK, one of the oldest radio frequencies in the Black community in the city of Houston. Guess what? That fan base deserves to be represented as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, Keisha, to that point, I'll never forget when Titus Howard first got to Houston. We were all standing there in the pool environment, and they were asking Titus about how far he could throw a football. and not just one question, 2, 3, 4. They were on question number 7 about him throwing the football. Nothing about him being, first round pick for the Texans. Nothing about him being, coming from HBCU or anything like that. So I jumped in there. I said, so Titus, now that you're here, who you rooting for in the Labor Day Classic? Prairie View or TSU? And
Absolutely.
I will always be repping my HBCU. And again, we had a laugh, we had a look, and somebody took it right back to him throwing the football.
And that's how it is. We have to take it off the mainstream because they want to know. That's the HBCU connection. It's so funny to me. I'll use Tariq Cohen as an example. When Tariq Cohen first got to the Chicago Bears, we start seeing him hit the grid, and more people, more analysts were like, oh, he's the human joystick and he's doing this and he's doing that. And I would get all the tags, and I would feverishly respond. I don't care if you're ESPN, NFL, or network. I don't care. I would tell them, I said, what you're seeing today, we saw 5 years ago. So now we're playing catch up.
Yeah.
We've been watching these kids. We know what they're capable of. It's because they're in the HBCU. You didn't pay attention. Now you got to play catch up, and all you're doing is grabbing sound bites.
Yep.
But that's a case in point. If I'm ever somewhere, and if I'm interviewing somebody from Grambling, I'm interviewing somebody from Southern Bayou Classic will come up. Alabama A&M, Alabama State, something will always come up when you're talking. Or Magic City Classic is going to come up. You're always going to throw like a rival jab in there to keep their attention because, truth be told, like they understand where they're going with the NFL. But they always have to remember where they came from before they got to the NFL.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That being said, we had a young man last night, Quentin Bell, who won a Super Bowl last night with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and he is a graduate of that PVU. So we want to give a lot of love to Quentin Bell. We talked previously about a number of the HBCU guys that were either on active rosters, the practice squads, or whatever. I'm happy that all of them will get some type of recognition for having been in that game last night. But we had to give a little love to the hometown flavor, Quentin Bell. So give me your perspective from the game last night, Keisha.
I did. We sat there. We had the conversation, and my conversation was, I'm just honest. I'm looking for the HBCU grads on both sides, Tampa Bay or Kansas City. I really don't care. I'm just looking for it. Of course, South Carolina State was heavily represented on the Kansas City side. And then, of course, on Tampa Bay side, the opposite, you have North Carolina Central as well as Prairie View. So, with this representation, what we're looking for is, what's going to happen. I'm always looking for a breakout play, a punt return or something that might just happen, a tackle or something. I'm always looking for that, an interception, what could happen with our guys in particular. But, the game to me was just the game. And it was so hilarious because this guy was like, they're not practicing any kind of social distance. I was like, dude, those are cardboards. Those aren't people. Those are cardboards. So I thought that it was like it was just an okay game. Patrick Mahomes, they did. The Chiefs were indeed shut down. There was one point where I did kind of question Tyrann Matthew. I did kind of question that interception or whatever that was, and then it was a penalty behind it. That was probably the only thing I questioned. I can't say the refs cheated. It was just a bad game for Kansas City altogether. It was a bad game. And then by the time I looked up, it was just completely out of control. And we were just like, all right, whatever. It's Super Bowl, whatever.
It's funny you say that because there was a point in time when there was about 8 minutes left on the clock, and I literally said they don't have time to do it. Not realistically. They don't, not the way this defense is playing and the way the offense is controlling the ball.
Oh, absolutely.
City at that point, in my mind, had no more time left to get it done. And I got to give credit to the position coaches. I got to give credit to Todd Bowles. He had the perfect plan with adjustments for what Kansas City was hoping to be able to do.
And I do, and the thing is it's the, Tom Brady's the GOAT and he has this and he has this. Listen, that defense is what won that game. It wasn't just a Tom Brady. Yeah, you get another ring, but your defense is what stopped them from getting a second ring and a second Super Bowl. Yeah. The funny thing about that is that Tampa Bay peaked at the right time.
Yeah, they did.
They peaked at the right time. Like they absolutely peaked at the right time. And I mean, of course, he over here in my conference, the NFC South, so I wasn't happy. He was like, whatever. But it's just like it just didn't seem like Super Bowl because of the pandemic.
Right.
It just didn't seem like Super Bowl.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny you say that because when I came on, I said, I didn't think Tampa Bay would get it done. I had to admit I was wrong. I didn't think they would win the NFC South. They didn't. The Saints won that, but that's hollow right now. And then I didn't think that they would win the Super Bowl. I thought Kansas City would do that, and they didn't. And
as it went on, I pretty much figured Tampa Bay would get it done. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, if you looking at people like Leonard Fournette, and like Antonio Brown, it's like it all kind of fleshed out together at the right time. So they did. It was I was like, Tom might be 75 still out there playing football. I mean,
maybe. And again, we got to give credit to the defense because a lot of folks forget that New England lost the Super Bowl where they scored over 40 points because their defense gave up more to the Philadelphia Eagles. So. Right. As great as Tom Brady is, he can't do it by himself, and he couldn't do it without that defensive plan last night. And then on the other side of the ball, we got to give credit to Byron Leftwich because he called a great game.
It was
all throughout that game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, again, I want to shout out to a couple of the other HBCU players. We had North Carolina Central players, Ryan Smith and Nick Leverett, along with Quentin Bell, that got rings last night. And, again, like you said, South Carolina State represented strongly on the other side, but North Carolina Central got represented very well on the Tampa Bay side.
Absolutely.
Tell me about North Carolina Central, what they got going on down there that's generating Super Bowl champs.
So North Carolina Central, for people that coming up this week, let's see, what's today? The 8th. In a couple of days, I'm going to say on Thursday, the Undefeated or ESPN, they're kicking off. They're doing I think it's like a documentary for their athletics.
Uh-huh.
And so it's major because they plugged in, for people that don't know, LaVelle Moulton to me, it's just a worldwide name. He's the basketball coach at North Carolina Central. So they went in and documented stuff with him. I think Chris Paul might be the co-producer or producer of that. So of course, there's even more behind it. And so it's like kind of like, Chris Paul has that connection in Carolina because of Winston-Salem State University. So it's like they kind of just pulled all this stuff together, and they are going to be highlighting. I want to say the basketball team, band, maybe the football team. I do remember in particular the basketball team. Yes. But North Carolina Central is doing a lot of things right now. They're doing a lot of great things.
That's outstanding, Keisha. That is extremely outstanding.
And to add to that, we did have the young man that actually went to Senior Bowl. He actually got an invite to the combine. So now I had to do a story on Senior Bowl. Now I got to follow up with his combine story.
Now that's upset. Now that's the combine up in Indianapolis.
That's NFL combine. Absolutely.
Okay, now that's big stuff right there.
So now they're like, okay, you put it out there with that. Now we need you to follow up and push this one out here too. So I do. I absolutely get so much joy out of seeing our student athletes, male, female, black or white. I get so much joy out of seeing our student athletes from HBCUs get these opportunities. And, it's always the common complaint that we don't have enough. And I said, I know we're moving slowly, but we're trenching in the right direction. We're moving in the right direction. And it might be 1 this year. It might be 5 next year. It could be 10 the year after. But as long as we're moving in the right direction, I have no problems with that. But if it's just one, we're going to make sure that one person has their story highlighted every single time.
And I gotta admit, you lit my fire to that. I mean, I might have had some burning embers, but you lit my fire that we do. We have a responsibility that nowhere else will anybody give love to HBCUs, to the players, to the coaches, to the institutions, the bands. That's part of the experience.
It is.
If we don't do it, it's
our job. If we don't do it, then who will? And if we don't do it now, when will we tell the story? And I continue. I always look back to think about when I first started. And like I said, someone said, "Are you sure that you just want to cover HBCU sports?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, why not?" And they're looking at it from a financial side and like, oh my God, like how the exposure side. And I was like, this vision is for the exposure for the athletes. Nothing that we do is for us. Nothing is for us. And I tell people I had two things that I promised myself when I started. One was to bring exposure to those HBCU athletes. Two was to give scholarships to students at HBCUs. I have done both of the things that I said I was going to do. I've done both of those things.
Yeah, I saw you post the number the other day that you had given out a certain amount of scholarship. Do you mind sharing that?
So at this point now, we have given out $4,300 to date. I was like, we're $700 short of hitting that $5,000 mark. So, and I tell people, this is a grassroots effort. It's not a, oh my God, we're going into companies and we're getting money. We don't have major sponsorships. This is a, hey, listen, do you want to donate to? Hey, do you want to donate to? Hey, go to this link. These are people like me and you that are actually going to the link, putting money into a scholarship fund that's in honor of my father. And we're turning around and we're giving it back to students that are at HBCUs, which of course at this date has been 9 students.
See, that's what I wanted to get out because, like you said, it's not like Exxon Mobil's putting money in, Shell Oil, Microsoft, Apple, Google. It's not that. Like you said, it's $25 here, $50, $100 here, to the point where you have given out $4,300 to 9 students. And I want you to hit that $5,000 mark. I want you to hit that $5,000 mark. So we're gonna do a little fundraising before you go today. See if we can't get that up. Okay. All right. So now you know me. I've been in my sports nerdy mode. Girl, I've had spreadsheets. I've been crunching numbers. And you know what's bothered me is it has not been easy to find. It has not been easy to go through and just Google and say, give me the winningest black HBCU football coaches. There is not a list for that. It's not just that. You either get sent to the all-time list, and there are not a lot of us on there, and should be, or you got to go to individual this, individual that, pull it all together, verify it, and then try to compile it from that. And that's where, again, Keisha, Kelley, and Black College Experience is necessary in the sports broadcast journalist arena, because if not, ain't nobody else doing it.
And that's the thing. Like, we had to, like, of course, last year I dedicated the month of February to Black History Month. So we're going to pull out for 30 days or 28 days or 29 days, however we see it. We're going to highlight a different person in Black history. So, you know, people we know about Eddie Robinson, but do you know about Ace Mumford? Do you know about Pete Richardson? Today was Pete Richardson Day on my side. People are like, well, how's Pete doing? And I'm like, you're talking about a man that left Winston-Salem State. He left their program in great condition, and he comes over to Southern. And, of course, they call him the dean of the SWAC. You're talking about the second most winningest coach at Southern University, right behind Ace Mumford. And so then you get into the Jake Gaithers, the John Merritt,
Go ahead,
W.C. Gordons. It's you know, you get into that and you be like, wait, it's a lot of people that we don't talk about. I had Joe Taylor the other day, which now is on the committee. What I think is for Pro Bowl for Pro Football Hall of Fame. So you look at all that stuff and you're like, wait, we got some heavy hitting coaches. We got some heavy hitting coaches that people don't talk about. So I was like, we just have to dedicate the time to actually go through here and pull out coach after coach. Because, I mean, we know our coaches. But it's like, okay, what about the coaches from 1932? What about these coaches from way back when that we are not highlighting? Everybody from FAMU knows about Jake Gaither. That does not mean that everybody else from other schools will know about a Jake Gaither. I want to know about coaches from other places. I want to know about athletes from other places. And I don't know if you saw the HBCU football tribute they did the other day on ESPN.
I did see it.
That was a really good, because you actually digging in, and of course it's all opinion on who on the offensive side, the defensive side, how you want to look at it. It's all who people think is one. They said Jerry Rice was 1, Sweetness was 2. So it's all about how you look at it. But it is. It's a lot of heavy hitting coaches that we just don't talk about. And I'm like, no, we gonna have to drag them out. We gotta drag them out. We have to.
I got to do one today because I got the Prairie View shirt on. I want to holler at Billy Nix. Of course, he got started at Morris Brown and then ended up over at Prairie View in 1945, where he won 123 games, 36 losses and 8 ties. And while he was at Prairie View alone, they won 6 Black College National Championships, and they won the SWAC 8 times. And not only was he the football coach, Keisha, he was the athletic director, he was the basketball coach, and he coached a little softball. And that's why I want to shout it again to Billy Nix, who did his thing back in the day for Morris Brown and Prairie View. All right?
And that's the thing. People don't understand. See, back in the days, that's the Eddie Robinson time.
Yeah. Yep.
You were the coach, you were
Yep.
the dad, you were the parent, you were
Yep.
making food, you were cleaning up the field. You did multiple things. Now it's like you got somebody designated for everything. But back then, you carried the weight of the whole team.
Yeah. And when you talk about Eddie, man, Coach Robinson, no disrespect, was lining the field, cutting the grass. He was taping up ankles. He was making sure folks got to and from class, even if they lived off campus. I'm telling you, it's that kind of stuff. Ain't no shade at Nick Saban. He ain't never take no ankle. He ain't never cut no grass on the stadium field in Tuscaloosa.
He
ain't
ain't
never
made no
signed no
sandwiches.
deals out there. Come on now.
Yeah, you ain't made no sandwiches. And I tell people, I don't care that I'm a Southern University grad. I always pay homage to the legendary Coach Eddie Robinson. I always pay homage to them, their family. I always pay homage to them first because of who they are. I will always pay homage to Doug Williams, the first Black quarterback coming out of Grambling State University. You always have to pay homage to the ones that came before you. And a lot of times, people don't realize how hard those feats were, being in those places and being in those spaces. And I always commend Doug on whenever he has a conversation, it starts out with, I'm from Zachary, Louisiana, but I went over to Grambling State University and I played for the legendary Coach Eddie Robinson. That's how his conversations start. And so it's always breathtaking. And it's great to hear them actually honor their schools and remember where they came from.
And that's the part about it that folks don't understand. By the time Doug Williams gets on the field in Washington, there are so many people that have invested, have prayed for, have donated to, have fought for, have done whatever they had to do to get him to that point. And all those folks are represented with every throw, every handoff, every fumble, every whatever he does.
Correct.
All those folks are represented. So that's why when you come for them or you slight them or you try to defame their character like they did, and he's not an HBCU player, but he came from a small town in Louisiana, Leonard Fournette. What Tom Coughlin tried to do to Leonard Fournette literally disrespected an entire city of Louisiana who stood up for that young man and said, he ain't never been that kind of player. He ain't never been nobody got in any trouble on or off the field. He will give you his last off his back, and all he wants to do is win. Why is that a negative thing when it's a black player and a positive thing? Oh, he's compassionate and he's fiery and all that when it's somebody else. That's all we're saying. It's too much behind these players by the time they get to your team.
It is. It is. It's too much. And we often say, we know how the narrative is controlled depending on who the journalist is and how it's looked at. And it still goes back to even when we were having the conversation last week when we were talking about Brett Favre and the conversation and the commentary that he made. And I think it's so tacky when it comes to certain players. We feel like we can just say anything, and it's not the case. But then when we start to talk about the Tom Brady's, the Drew Breeses, then it's an issue. So no, it goes both ways. If you can talk about a Leonard Fournette or you can talk about a Cam Newton, then I'm gonna need you to be able to talk about a Tom Brady. I'm gonna need you to be able to talk about a Drew Brees. I'm gonna need you to be able to talk about whomever it is. If you have to be able to talk about it in both ways in order for it not to be biased.
Yeah, that's true. The conversation, and I gotta get Sybil Wilkes on real quick. The conversation going around right now is Tom Brady the greatest athlete of all time? I'm listening.
No, I say this and I stand on this. When you can do more than Jerry Rice or Walter Payton, come talk to me. I don't care how many rings you got. You can even look at Dan Marino. And so I don't care. People can, oh, you just hating on Tom. To me, you discredit everything that Walter Payton and Jerry Rice did when you just want to come in here and act like that generation didn't exist. But in the same breath, you'll have a conversation about Bear Bryant and talk about you'll say he was the greatest coach. You have a conversation about a Bear Bryant, but you don't want to discredit a Walter Payton or a Jerry Rice. So no, you're fine at this moment. That's fine. You're fine in this moment. But I still have to say I'm gonna roll with my Jerry Rices and my Walter Paytons. That's just me.
Yeah, when I think about the fact that Serena Williams
absolutely
won her 23rd major championship while pregnant. I'm sorry, Tom Brady can't do that. He can't. And even watch this. And even if he could, don't mean he would have won it while pregnant. I'm sorry. Like it's too many other factors out there. And if they want to go on rings, then you gotta put Bill Russell on top of the mountain.
Somebody did say you can't have a conversation without bringing in Bill Russell. Somebody said that, and you know they get all touchy. But no, if you want to dig into it, let's put all of the factors on the table because Bill Russell did it. Bill did it, and it wasn't a deflate gate, and it wasn't a cheating here and a paying a ref here, and all of these things that they just swept under the rug and threw out the window. It wasn't any of that. It's like you have to factor in everything that actually happened as to how. And I saw one of the craziest things, and people know that I absolutely love LeBron. I call LeBron my cousin. I saw somebody compare LeBron to Tom Brady, and I'm one of those people that philanthropy is more important to me than what you do on the field, basketball court. So we got a man that's literally up here building schools for kids, sending parents back to schools, got polling stations set up for people that look like me to make sure we're not at a disadvantage to vote. And you gonna tell me that Tom is better than LeBron? Okay.
Yeah. I got to get Sybil Wilkes on. Do you have a few more minutes?
I do.
Okay, let me get Sybil Wilkes on real quick with her COVID-19 update. Okay. And when I come back, I got to make an official apology. I'll do that next, right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. Here's Sybil Wilkes.
It's Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know today. President Joe Biden's coronavirus stimulus relief plan is still on track to become a reality within the next several weeks. However, all of the proposals in the plan may not be included. During the Sunday night airing of an interview with CBS News, the president admitted the measure to raise the federal minimum wage to $15 an hour will not likely make his COVID-19 relief plan. Biden added he is prepared to negotiate a separate plan, but some Democrats and most Republicans are resistant. Black churches nationwide are stepping up to make the coronavirus available to those disproportionately hurt by the pandemic. This comes after early data shows that white Americans are being vaccinated at a much higher rate than black and brown people. Faith leaders from Washington, D.C. to Florida are teaming up with government officials to encourage people in their communities to get vaccinated at their churches while easing fears about the shots. Please visit SybilWilkes.com to subscribe to my free daily newsletter. Be informed, be empowered.
Hey, what's going on? This is Lecrae, and right now you're listening to The Lunch Break.
All right, y'all, we're back on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. I'm AJ Jones. I got Keisha Kelley joining us from Black College Experience here in Black History Month and on Media Monday. I said before the break, when I came back, I had to make an official apology. When I had one of our brothers and sisters on the show, Kelsey Nicole Nelson from Listen In with KNN and the Washington football team, and David Grubb with Heart in the Paint. We were talking about the accomplishments of black athletes. And I don't know what I was even thinking. I said, I want to hear about more than just schools. I want to hear about more than just schools. I was trying to I want them to move to ownership of organizations and leagues and stuff like that. I cannot stand by and let that just be out there. I apologize, because when I look at what LeBron has done with his school, not just for the students, but for the parents, when I look at what Jalen Rose's school has done, Deion Sanders' schools have done, our education is paramount. There is nothing more than somebody getting out there and making sure that we get the education that we would not normally get if a LeBron, Jalen Rose, Deion Sanders, and others did not go out there and make that available. So I have to apologize for that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So Keisha, I gotta hit the top of the hour.
Okay.
When I come back, I want to talk about that list I put together of power rankings.
Okay.
Because not so much of my list, but so we can spotlight some of the programs out there that a lot of people might not know about. Because, we're SWAC country down here. We Prairie View, TSU, Jackson State, Grambling. That's us down here. But there's some other schools that have some real solid things going on. And I want to get a chance to spotlight some of those if you don't mind.
Okay.
All right, we'll do that when we come back with Keisha Kelley. Also, I got to announce the winner of the Keeping Up with the Lunch Break, Keeping Up with the Joneses Pick'em Challenge. Somebody's going to win $600.
You don't have to announce it.
I got to announce it, Keisha. No. It was close, too. It was way close. All right,
at least I went in the running, so I'm okay with that.
Legendary 1140 AM, KYOK Conroe, and 92.3 FM, K222CX Houston.
The views and opinions expressed on all radio shows broadcast on KYOK are entirely those of the host, guests, and callers who are entirely responsible for all show content and do not in any way reflect the opinions of KYOK Radio, its sponsors, staff, or management.
All right, y'all, we're back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. It is Black History Month. It is our Media Monday, and I've got one of the best in the whole entire business, bar none. I'm talking about Keisha Kelley from Black College Experience. And Keisha, again, I love the hat. I love the shirt. I did a school conference for the AKA, and it was to help high schoolers get ready for college admissions exams or whatever. And I was supposed to wear a college T-shirt. You know what I wore?
Your Southern T-shirt.
I wore my Southern T-shirt.
Okay.
Why? Because you asked me to. And my son, and I had to go take my son out of Southern several years ago. I got a niece and a goddaughter on Southern, so I had all the right reasons to put Southern on that day.
And I did. I threw this hat on. So if anybody saw my on social media, were laughing. I took my hair down and I told them, I said, I looked like The Weeknd by the head and Don King and mixed. I was like, so today my hair is going to be under a hat until it's done. I was like, we know that this hat don't go with this sweatshirt, but it went with this sweatshirt today because clearly it was either this or me.
Let me tell you something. You got it going on when you throw something together and it works. Because I'm one of the dudes. If I don't have them Garanimals with the giraffe in the shirt and the giraffe in the pants, I don't know what to put together. So, Keisha, all right. So in my nerdiness and sports nerdiness, I put together a list of the current Black HBCU football coaches. And I did it a couple of ways. I did it by winning percentage, and I did it by a number of wins. First of all, we got to give credit to Coach Willie Slater over at Tuskegee. Got 120 wins over there, only 39 losses. He's got a 76 win percentage right there at Tuskegee. That's a lot of wins. And, when I look at all these coaches that are at these PWIs, and we hear the athletic directors say, well, where are the pool of Black candidates? You got a perfectly good one right there at Tuskegee, and all he's doing is winning.
So with Coach Slater, and he's one of those, he's a funny coach. If you have a conversation with him, he's so simple. It's not a bunch of laughing and stuff. He's just so simple. And so Coach Slater will tell you at any time, it's just, we gotta go. You go with the predictive order of finish. And I'm like, well, Coach, how do you feel about them ranking you first? He'll laugh and say, well, we got to play first. So we don't know what's going to happen. We got to play first. Yeah. And that's how he is. That's how Coach is. And so, at the end of the day, he's one of those coaches that he does a lot. He does an absolute lot. He's won so many games, and until here recently, they were continuously being predicted to win or go first in the SIAC.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Well, the number one coach with the highest winning percentage, HBCUs right now, is over there at North Carolina A&T, Coach Sam Washington. He's winning 79% of his games. Tell us about Coach Washington over there at North Carolina A&T.
So, of course, we love Coach Washington. For people that don't know, he is the bring me my money If you remember that saying, that's Coach Sam Washington. Bring me my money. Coach Washington is an alumnus of Mississippi Valley State University, but Coach Washington, just the tutelage of who he came under, like he were under so many great coaches. Yeah. And so it's just like, it's just a powerhouse. And so as North Carolina A&T is preparing as the last season in the MEAC, and to actually move on to the Big South, we're actually hurt because we love Coach Washington and we love North Carolina A&T, but he's done a wonderful job with that program. Anytime you're going back to back to back to Celebration Bowls like that, that means that you're really doing a great job. And Coach Washington, he's one of those people. He's a man, not too many words. He just go out there, get the job done, and he go on about his business. But I do, Bill Hayes and other coaches that were over at North Carolina A&T, I just think that Sam Washington, he has. And if you look at, I can't even call the kid's name now. We had a kid that actually went on to play that's playing for the Buffalo Bills right now that played under Coach Washington. Standout kids like Jermaine Martin that's playing under him now. Yeah. And it's so funny because I didn't know that Jermaine was born in Huntsville, raised in Atlanta, and now you're in North Carolina. It's just crazy. Wow. It's like we got the same story. So, he's one of those kids to look out for that's under Coach Washington that's, we might see playing on Sundays.
Yeah. I got to tell you, it was a pleasure seeing you interview him or ask questions of him at the Celebration Bowl after the game. Keisha, you really are a phenomenal broadcast journalist. And I'm not saying that because you're my friend. I'm saying I really... listening to you was like, oh, wow, that's dope. I'm writing stuff down myself.
Did you like the question that I asked, though?
Of course. That's what I'm saying. You are that one that if people stop getting in their feelings and listen, they're like, wow, that's a nice question. That's a dope question. I like that.
It was. It's just like, again, I think that was after I had talked to Pam and we had said that's what I was remembering. Okay, so what can we ask? Okay, we already know that Coach Washington's team won. We know what happened with defense, offense. We know what happened with the MVPs of the game. So, Coach, tomorrow, what are you going to do now that the season is over? And they all looked and laughed, and he said, oh, I'm going to see my mom. So, that's one of the things, like, we know what you done today. What you going to do tomorrow? Because the season's over. He said, we'll get right back to it.
You humanized him right before our very eyes. You really did.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Keisha, number 2 on the list is over at Virginia State. Coach Reggie Barlow is winning 76 or 75.6% of his games over there. Tell us about Coach Barlow.
So, Coach Barlow, if you're in the CIAA, you'll hear more about Coach Barlow. And Coach Barlow is one of those coaches we don't talk about enough, that we need to bring to the forefront. Anytime you got that kind of winning percentage, you got to bring those kind of people out. And again, like I said, the Bowie states and the Virginia states and the Virginia unions, people on that side, they don't know about Coach Barlow, but you got to talk about Reggie Barlow and you got to talk about the things that he has done because he's done so many great things. But of course, since he's on the other side, we don't talk about, it's like you said, we're in SWAC country, so we don't talk about Reggie Barlow as often as we need to.
Yep. So I got Coach Washington, number 1. I got Coach Barlow, number 2. Number 3 is Coach Slater from Tuskegee. Number 4 is Coach Alvin Parker of Virginia Union. He's got a 75 win percentage, 15 wins, and only 5 losses over there at Virginia Union.
And so again, going back to being in the CIAA, you look at the teams that are over in the CIAA and how they can all play out and how they go, because it's normally Virginia Union, Virginia State. They always battle it out. Well, at Bowie State was in there with a battle out, win the conference and the championship, but Virginia Union, Virginia State would battle it out, I'll say, a couple of years ago. And again, these are people that we don't talk about enough. They don't get enough credit being those head coaches, and they have a lesser losing percentage as to where some of these coaches in other schools and other conferences, they have a much higher losing percentage, which means they have a much smaller winning percentage. Right. And we talk about them all the time.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, let me go to number 5. We got Coach Broderick Fobbs over at Grambling State University. He's got a 71% winning percentage. Coach Fobbs, 51 wins, only 21 losses, and he comes behind a lot of legacy over there at Grambling.
So 21 losses, two of them, two or three or so, we can actually say came from Southern University.
I was gonna say,
Bayou Classic, you know, we're gonna throw that in there. Bayou Classic, baby. We're gonna throw that in there. So Bayou Classics, I mean, I like Coach Bob's. We get it. Coach Bob is one of those people. Coach Bob said we're on media day. He said I hadn't watched any football. He hadn't watched any football during NFL time because he was like, I miss it so much because we couldn't play. And he's like, I'm just now getting to that point. Coach Bob's is one of those coaches. When he came in with a boom. He came in with a boom because, you know, it's like, okay. And when he came in, it's like he automatically, it was like they were winning. Like the dynasty was just going on. And to say that you played under, again, you know, under great coaches, now it's like, okay, this is legendary. And so I can't take anything from him, even with the little jokes and the jabs about Bayou Classic. I can't take anything from Coach Bob's. He has done an excellent job with building that program over at Grambling.
Yeah, let me tell you something. I've watched when they took on Arizona State a couple of years ago, and they literally almost beat Arizona State had it not been for their quarterback getting hurt. I really believe they could have won that game a couple of years ago. So great job by Coach Fobbs over there at Grambling. All right, so at number 6, we got a school that I got to remember sometimes that this school is an HBCU. It's Kentucky State. Coach Charlie Jackson. He's got a 70% winning. What do you know about Kentucky State? And are you like me? Do you have to remember that they're an HBCU?
Absolutely not. I absolutely know about the thoroughbreds. It's so crazy because one of my cohorts, she works at Kentucky State. She has a really high position. So she sent me all of this Kentucky State stuff. So I know about Kentucky State. Kentucky State actually, a couple of years ago, they end up beating Tuskegee by 1 point. It was like 10-9 or something like that for the championship. And we couldn't remember. We was like, wait, what happened? And so it's been changes in coaches since then. But I remember when that happened. And a lot of times we don't talk about Kentucky State a lot, but that doesn't change the fact that happened, that they lost that game. Tuskegee lost that game to Kentucky State. It does not change the fact.
What's interesting is one of my good friends' son plays football at Kentucky State. He's a wide receiver, and he always tells me, yo, man, give my son school some love. Give my son school some love. So I joke around all the time. Kentucky State, they at HBCU. I got them at number 6. At number 7, we got to go to Coach Sean Quinn from Savannah State. He too has a 70% win percentage. What's going on down there at Savannah State?
So Savannah State, as everyone knows, will be coming back into the conference because, you know, Savannah State has kind of moved over. SEAC again. And so the thing is, if you didn't pay attention, this class that just came over for National Signing Day for Savannah State is going to be special. I think they maybe got 12, 14. It's going to be special. It's a really great group of guys that's coming over. And once they get that all in and gelled out, I think it's going to be awesome. And I think it's because he was still trying to get into the swing of things, trying to get everything to fit. But Savannah State is going to be a team to watch in that conference.
You know what? It's funny you say that because I read that somewhere else that Savannah State had a great recruiting class. Let me take one more quick break and then we'll round out the top 10. And I know you got a ton of other stuff to do. It's Keisha Kelley joining us here on the lunch break on the legendary Black History Month. We're talking HBCU power rankings for coaches in football. We'll finish it up next right here on the lunch break.
Hi, my name is Lily. My mom and dad used to fight about money all the time. Then one day, I heard them talking about this guy, some uncle I never knew, called Uncle Sam. Well, they say this Uncle Sam guy wanted them to pay him like $1 gazillion, and they didn't have $1 gazillion. So they called this company they heard on the radio called the Tax Doctor. And the Tax Doctor worked with Uncle Sam's people. I think they're called the IRS. And they're able to work it out so my mom and dad didn't have to pay Uncle Sam very much money at all. So now mom and dad are happy, and I'm happy too. Thanks, Tax Doctor.
If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS or state, call now and pay less. 800-603-9359. 800-603-9359. That's 800-603-9359. Non-attorney spokesperson representing a team of lawyers who've helped people that have been injured or wronged. Have you been diagnosed with cancer? Are you one of the
So I
millions that
switched over.
take Zantac or other generic versions of this popular drug to help treat stomach issues? Then pay close attention to this message.
Yeah.
The FDA said it detected low levels of a probable cancer-causing chemical known as NDMA in Zantac and other generic forms of this popular drug. Fails and even
So it looks like I had unplugged my internet. That was my problem.
Zantac or a generic equivalent. Call
Trying
them.
to figure out what was going on with the TV. I know.
Won't even mention that. That won't even come up.
I know.
No upfront cost to you. They only get paid if you win. So please call now. 800-251-7816. 800-251-7816. 800-251-7816. That's 800-251-7816.
The legendary KYOK 1140 AM and 92.3 FM. The legend continues.
Hey, what's up? This your boy James Fortune, and you are listening to The Lunch Break. Keep it locked.
All right, y'all, we're back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. I'm AJ Jones, along with my friend to the end. It is Keisha Kelley from Black College Experience. She's been hanging in with me. We're going through my power rankings of the top 10 Black HBCU coaches. And we got a shout out to Al High. Al High went to an HBCU. He says he's loving the history. Your good friend. I don't know if y'all are friends or not. Are you and Natasha good
Natasha
friend?
Raspberry, yes.
Yeah, okay, she done checked in. Also, Felicia Yolanda Green Johnson, she's Prairie View to the hilt. She's in the house. So HBCU's well represented on the show today. In fact, Prairie View more represented than Southern.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you noticed that.
Probably Prairie View, absolutely.
All right, so we got, let me real quick. Number 1, Sam Washington over at North Carolina A&T. Number 2, Reggie Barlow over at Virginia State. Number 3, Willie Slater over at Tuskegee. Alvin Parker, Virginia Union. Number 4, Broderick Fobbs, Grambling. Number 5, Charlie Jackson, Kansas State at number 6. And then at number 7, we had Sean Quinn from Savannah State. Puts us at number 8. Man, this school right here used to get on my nerves. Because folks literally said that you had to be a Morehouse man. Not just a regular man, but when you went to Morehouse, you were a Morehouse man. Like you was something special. You was something better than everybody else. I ain't mad at them because, they pretty good men over there at Morehouse. But we got to give love to their head coach over at Morehouse, and that is none other than
Rich Freeman.
He's got a 68% winning streak going on over at Morehouse. Tell me about Mr. Freeman.
So Coach Rich Freeman he's actually one of my favorite coaches. Out of all the HBCU coaches, have a lot of conversation with him. It's like we're opposite though. I'm like this over the top, and Coach Freeman will just kind of like, he's a mild-mannered person. And, he graduated from Tennessee State. So Coach Freeman, he just kind of, it's Morehouse. And so that's what people Morehouse is a household name. So people know Morehouse. And Coach Freeman is just one of those, we go, we get it done and move on. But Coach Freeman, he doesn't have many words. He'll represent what he has to do as far as like football, whatever he has to do on that side. But he's one of those people. He's just like, I have a conversation all the time with some of the guys that work around him. And it's just like, Coach Freeman is just Coach Freeman. It's no extra, no over the top, no, it's just like, okay, I'm Coach Freeman, and he keep moving.
Yeah, and obviously getting it done over there at Morehouse. All right, at number 9, again, a very legendary school, now a member of the SWAC, and that's Coach Willie Simmons at FAMU. He's winning 68% of his games over at FAMU, got them at number 9. What do you think about the coach?
Let me tell you what I like about Willie Simmons. They are trash talkers. FAMU are some trash talkers. And I tell them, I said, y'all ain't even got over here yet. It's not even official. Y'all just coming to join the SWAC. But they are some trash talkers. And for people that don't know, of course, they declared themselves the actual, conference champs last year, even though they were ineligible because of the things that had happened. But FAMU, 2019, they really did. They had a great team. I mean, they really did. And if they hadn't have left the MEAC, I think they would have been next in line. They would have owned it. It would have been a great thing. So yeah, he's a trash talker. And I tell you, they can back it up. They can back it up. If they can back the trash talking up at FAMU.
Come get some. Come get some. Now our top 10, the school that you've mentioned a couple of times already, Winston-Salem State with Coach Boulware. Tell me about Winston-Salem State.
Listen, for people that don't know, those Rams, I don't really like mascots, so I kind of stay away from Winston-Salem State because I don't like that Ram mascot. But I do like the school and I do like the coach. And I think they're definitely a team that you have to pay attention to. But they've had some up and down seasons over there with them. One season they might have 4 and whatever. Next season they might have 8 and something. So they've had some up and down seasons. But I think overall that program, that coach is really good.
Yeah, 35-18, 66% of its games
right
over there at Winston-Salem State. Just outside of my top 10, Keisha, was your school, Coach Odoms over at Southern, 58-31. That's 65% of its wins. You know, I like what they're doing over there with that school on campus. They got a great experience over there at Southern.
Absolutely. I mean, of course, I'm going to always represent for my dear old Southern University. It's so funny because, you know, now we're going into the cardboard cutouts for fans.
Yeah.
And so I purchased a cardboard cutout, but I had specific instructions. Stand my cardboard next to Coach Odoms. I want to feel like I'm on the team. I want to pretend like I'm out there. I need a whistle. It's not real. I want to sit at the table and act like I'm doing the stats. I want to be the basketball coaches. They said, Keisha, you're making us work too hard. That's all right. Just put mine in a seat. I'm going to be at the games. So it's no point in me having one, but I bought it anyway. But I do. I absolutely love what Coach Odoms is doing. Coach Odoms is actually going to be one of the coaches that I highlight this month for Black History Month. And Coach Odoms, he's one of those people. He'll give you the answer. Whatever you ask him, he's going to ask. He's not going to add anything else. But one of those things I've also learned about Coach Odoms is that if you come at Coach Odoms the wrong way, he'll never do an interview with you again. He'll never do an interview with you again. So I'm always careful with what I talk to him about. And I mean, we talk. It's not just a high bypass. It's okay. I have Coach Odom's number. Coach Odom has my number. We can talk about whatever it is in media because I try to make sure that all HBCUs, not just mine, that all of them are still in a positive light, and we're not just passing off media and things that they did not say or do.
I love it. All right. So Keisha, before you go, we got a number of schools that have new coaches, for the first time. Obviously, we know about Coach Sanders over at Jackson State, Arkansas, Pine Bluff, Howard, Central State, Fort Valley State, Benedict, Livingston, and St. Augustine all have first time, their coaches are there for the first year. Out of all of those schools, who do you think, not named Dion, who do you think will be the surprise school with
I'm going to take Benedict because Chennis Berry was at Southern University. So we're going to take Benedict. We're super excited for Coach Chennis Berry. Yep. I'm going to definitely, you said anybody not named Dion. I'm so excited. But the Livingstone Bears, Livingstone is one too that they came in and they did some damage when they came down to Atlanta last year. Had a pretty solid quarterback, but I'm definitely gonna be looking for Benedict. I'm excited about for Coach Berry.
Well, I'm going to be updating this list throughout this because spring ball is about to get started. Of course, here we've got the State Fair Classic coming up on February 27th up in Dallas. It'll be Prairie View and Grambling. We're giving away tickets to that, but I'll be updating this throughout the year. And,
okay.
And I'll definitely be referring to you because if it ain't right, I ain't putting it out. So, Keisha, tell everybody where they can find you, follow you, and keep up with all the great stuff that you're doing.
Okay, so of course we're on Twitter. That's Black College EXP. On Instagram, it's Black College Experience. And then on Facebook, it's The Black College Experience. If you can see the scroll across, it's actually showing our website, which is where you can find all of the stories and what we're doing, which I'm actually, now that I figured out what's going on with my internet, I'm going to actually put out a story for and everybody knows Sekou Smith. Everybody is familiar with him, but a lot of people may not know that he's a graduate of Jackson State University. And so now the Hawks, I think the Hawks are dedicating a room or something just in his honor that I just found out from the Hawks, which, we're that I'm really excited about that. So y'all know me. I just accidentally fall into these places until I can try to go see things. I just accidentally fall into these places just to see what I can see, but they are doing a dedication to him. And so we're excited about that. And then, of course, HBCU week is coming up. Last week, it was Winston-Salem State with Stephen A. Smith. This Wednesday, they'll be at Howard University. Next Wednesday, they'll be at Morehouse, which I'm going to accidentally follow onto Morehouse campus. And then they'll end the actual week end the month at Jackson State University, of course. And so it's a scholarship attached to it. It's a $40,000 scholarship attached to it, where it's $10,000. I think a year. So, it's a lot. And this is all under Stephen A. Smith. So, it's some great things. Like I said, some great things coming up. Chris Paul has a basketball camp coming up for a week in June that I'm going to go hopefully meet Chris Paul. I'm going, but I'm going to cover this, and I'm excited about that. So we do. We're forward thinking. We're progressively moving along with Black College Experience.
Keisha, I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy for you. I'm ecstatic, and I appreciate every second that you give to us over here at the lunch break. So keep being great. Anything you need of me, you already know.
Thank you.
And tell everybody where they can go to donate to your scholarship fund so you can get up to $5,000 in scholarships given out to students at HBCUs.
So there it's of course it's on the website www.blackcollegeexperienceinc, that's inc.com. On there is a donate button. You just go there, donate whatever it is that you choose to donate on that link. We take $1, $2, $5, whatever you choose, because those $1, $2, $5 adds up to $500. So whatever you choose to give, it's completely up to you. But again, that's www.blackcollegeexperienceinc.com, and on the website there is a donate button. You go there, donate what you wish, as often as you wish.
Well, you know what? You just reminded me. I haven't made a donation in a while, so I'm going to go get mine in. But I encourage everyone under the sound of my voice to go and get it done so that we can support these young people over at these HBCUs, because I'm telling you, they need our help, and they are phenomenal students. So, Keisha, I applaud you. I thank God for you. Tell my noob I said what's up, and we'll talk to you again here on the lunch break.
I will. Thank you.
All right, y'all. Keisha Kelley, Black College Experience, getting it in. We'll talk to you soon, my friend.
Bye-bye.
All right, y'all. Let me go ahead and get some bills paid. We'll be right back with more right after this on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM.
KYOK 1140 AM. The legendary KYOK 92.3 FM. 2 radio stations in one.
I'm Larry Scott, host of the Not So Christian and Me Show. Join me Saturdays for great fun, interviews, music, and the latest news surrounding our world today. We are the show that cares to hear your voice and opinion with real conversation in a no judgment zone. So join me Saturdays from 1 to 2 p.m. on the Not So Christian and Me Show, right here on the legendary KYOK Radio, 1140 AM, and the all-new 92.3 FM and KYOKradio.org.
Baby, I got your money. Are you looking for a tax company that will get you the maximum credits and deductions? Or a tax company that can get you a same-day loan up to $9,500? Well, Global One Tax Services on 6002 Antoine Drive is the tax company that is dedicated to getting you your maximum refund. Call us for an appointment or for our mobile services. That's right, Global One Tax is now mobile. Now, you don't have to leave your home. Call 281-377-5565. That's 281-377-5565. Get your full return. You deserve it. You've earned it. Global One Tax Services. Get ready, get set, go global.
Hi, I'm Linda J. I recently purchased 4 new tires from OMG Tires and More, located at 3124 Tidwell between 59 and Jensen. TK got me in and out in less than 30 minutes. While there, I got my car washed. Do you need rims for your car? OMG has them too. OMG Tires and More is your one-stop shop for all your tire needs. So give them a call at 832-767-3211. That's 832-767-3211. Conveniently located at 3124 Tidwell between 59 and Jensen on the north side.
Beautiful people, this is Major. This is why I love you on the lunch break.
All right, y'all, we're back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. Let me remind you that it is tax season and Global One Tax Service wants to be your tax preparer. They'll come to your home or you can get your taxes prepared. Call Shannon Hinton at 281-377-5565. That's Shannon Hinton at 281-377-5565. Tell them you heard it with AJ and the lunch break on the legendary KYOK. Man, I'm so glad to have Keisha Kelley take that kind of time to join us and to even be a part of, anything that I put together. I did, man. I worked on this list. I was trying to figure out how to do it should I do it by winning percentage, by numbers of wins and all of that. And, to get her blessing on it, there are 47 HBCUs with football programs, and I ranked them all from 1 to 47. So I'll be posting that up later on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram for you to check out. The only thing I don't like is the number 47th ranked coach is Clarence McKinney over at TSU. Poor coach went 0-11 in his first season with the Tigers of Texas Southern. So hopefully they'll be able to turn that around. Everything I've heard, everything that I know, he's a great guy. Just got to turn it around over there at Texas Southern. Again, he's ranked number 47. He and Coach Tim Bowens over at Clark Atlanta are the only coaches with no wins and not our first-year head coaches. So we'll see what happens at Texas Southern and Clark Atlanta. Like Keisha said, we're going to keep an eye on Benedict College. We're going to keep an eye on Livingstone. We're going to keep an eye on all of them because, first-time new coaches at their programs, we'll see if they can turn things around at those schools. But again, for Black History Month, I wanted to highlight those schools. I want to highlight those coaches. I want to highlight them. Yeah, we had a Super Bowl last night, but again, as I said earlier, there are 371 players that have gotten Super Bowl rings with Tom Brady. No, they don't have 7, but they got Super Bowl rings with Tom Brady. And I want to celebrate all of them, not just Tom Brady. The conversation about him being the greatest athlete of all time is media conversation. There is no truth to it. There's no validity to it. Tom Brady is not the greatest athlete of all time. He's not even the most decorated athlete of all time. When you look at what Michael Phelps has done, when you look at what Bill Russell did, when you look at what Wayne Gretzky did and some of the other ones who had amazing careers in their respective sports. How many gold medals does Usain Bolt have? Michael Johnson had an era where he could not be beaten in track and field. Edwin Moses had decades before he ever lost a race in track and field. So, let's not be prisoners of the moment. You know me. Here on the lunch break, I'm always saying, let's be more educated than that. Let's be more educated than that. I said in one of my messages last night that I'm happy for a lot of guys that won championships last night, not just Tom Brady. Let me shout out to a couple of those. Mike Evans, Galveston, Texas. Leonard Fournette, Louisiana. Ndamukong Suh was another one that people tried to say. But I'll never forget Matt Schaub said, "Oh, he's not a Texans man." Well, Matt, he's a Super Bowl champion. So maybe he's not a Texans man, but guess what he is? A Super Bowl champ. So congratulations to him. Todd Bowles, Super Bowl champ. Remember how they fired him in New York and literally had to have a rule put in place that they have to spend so much of their cap money because they were the stingiest organization. They were even more stingy than the Cincinnati Bengals. That's how bad New York was when Todd Bowles was trying to win games. Byron Leftwich, again, got to get a head coaching job. And if the NFL doesn't do it, I pray some other league does. Also, North Carolina Central Stars Ryan Smith, Nick Leverett, and Quentin Bell, formerly of Prairie View A&M University. So yeah, I got to give love to all of them. And say what you want to say about him. Got to give some up for Antonio Brown. He got a big bonus in his salary because of last night's game. Not just for playing in it, but catching a touchdown in it. And everybody say, yeah, but he's this, yeah, but he's that. Okay, all of that's fine and well. I'm taking the personal out of the professional. And last night, that young man got him a Super Bowl ring. Last night, the young man got him a Super Bowl ring. So there we are. A lot of folks I want to be happy for. Man, another thing I got to apologize for about last night. Oh my gosh, I don't know what I was doing. I do know what I was doing, and I do know why I was doing it. Been a long week. Got a lot going on off the show and other areas of my life, personally as well as professionally. My heart is still broken on the passing of Dr. Guster Booker over at the Greater St. Matthew Baptist Church family. Y'all will never understand what Dr. Booker, Pastor Booker, meant to me personally. So a lot going on. Things going on with my church and leadership team. Things going on, personally. I'm not whining, not complaining, but last night was just a night where, yeah, I covered the game, but you ever have one of those nights where you just, this is all I'm doing right here. Give me something to eat, give me something to drink, and I'm just going to do this right here. I ain't moving. If somebody called me and say, come get me, I can't do it. If somebody called me and say, hey, drop, I know I can't do it. If somebody called and say, hey, I'm going to come by, no, I'm just doing this right here. That's what I did last night in front of the game. And I was also tweeting, if you're not following me on Twitter, at LunchBreakKYOK, at LunchBreakKYOK. And I went from using the hashtag Super Bowl 55 to some kind of way, I just started using the hashtag Super Bowl 54, as if we had gone back in time and I was hashtagging Super Bowl 54. What I was just like, when I looked at it this morning, it's like, what in the world were you thinking? You go from being in style to out of style in one tweet. You go from being a designer suit to bell bottoms in one tweet. And I had some good tweets. I ain't patting myself on the back, but let me do that real quick. I ain't patting myself on the back. I had some good tweets, but folks were probably looking at like, who's this nutbag? This guy ain't legit. He's talking about last year's Super Bowl. Well, one of my better tweets for the night, I said, now don't y'all come for Eric Bieniemy if it stays like this. Remember, he doesn't call plays. Hashtag Super Bowl 54. That's 55. What a nutbag. I wonder if I can edit that out. I ought to be able to edit that out. Oh, they don't let you edit tweets on Twitter. Once you put it out there, it's out there. You got to delete it and start over. No editing. And I just found out you can't edit on Instagram either. Who knew? What's up with that? If I mess something up, I ought to be able to clean it up. Should be a song. It should go something like, I got to clean up what I messed up. I'm starting my tweet over again. It should go something like that. That would be a good song. Boy, if some quartet group were to sing that song, that thing would be hot. That thing would be a best. You'd have choirs and local quartet groups all over singing that. I gotta clean up what I messed up. I'm starting my tweet over again. I'm just saying. Look, for more great ideas on music that nobody has ever done before, be sure and follow me at LunchBreakKYOK on Twitter and Instagram. It's at LunchBreak _ KYOK. C. Wright said, that's the song. Oh, that is a song. No, it ain't. I just gave it to you for the first time. You had never heard that before. You never heard that before. And if you are, pay me. That's my song. I'm being silly. I'm being silly. I know that's a song. In fact, my men's choir sings it all the time. I love it. Shout out to Lester Mitchell. Lester Mitchell. That's his song. I know it's not Freestyle Friday, but let me ask you a question. How does a song get to be a person's song at a church where only that person can sing the song? I'm just curious. Like, who designates, oh, that's Sister Louise's song? Well, you mean can't nobody sing it but Sister Louise? What if Sister Louise is on vacation and we want to sing that song? We can't do it? I'm just saying, when did this get to be a thing where a song is a person's song just because they sang it the first time you heard it at that church? And then, when they go on to glory, you got to say, well, now Sister Louise, she used to sing that song. That was her song. Do we retire the song then? We don't get to sing it no more? Help me out with this. I'm just asking. It's Media Monday. Inquiring minds want to know. Yeah, they better not come for Eric Bieniemy. They better not come for Eric Bieniemy because, remember, supposedly he didn't get a head coaching job because he didn't call plays. And you can't even interview him and ask him if he called plays for the game last night because remember y'all said he don't interview well. So don't be asking him no questions and don't come for him about the play calling last night because he doesn't interview well and he doesn't call plays. So if I'm Eric Bieniemy's agent, I'm saying, yeah, we're not taking no questions right now. Next question. And I'll lean over to him, tell him you just here so you don't get fined. Killing me. Bunch of coaches out there last night should be head coaches. Bunch of them. Monica Morris Howard. What's up, Queen? Monica Morris Howard said, the minister of music, LOL. Well, listen, I'm the whole senior pastor. And at my church from now on, the minister of music's got to ask me before he designates a song as somebody else's song. Until I say otherwise, it's everybody's song. I want to hear Brother Johnson sing the song. I want to hear Cousin Nedra sing the song. I want to hear Lil Lanny. I want to hear Lil Johnny, Lil Susie. I want to hear a bunch of folks sing the song and let me decide whose song it is. Minister of music. That's funny. Monica, I love it. Monica said, then the person whose song it is gets mad when somebody else in the choir say, I know. Now you got gangs in the choir. You got the tenors trying to battle against the altos and them sopranos, they over there repping the sopranos and don't mess around and have some baritones. It's like you got 4 different gangs in the choir repping they hood. Don't let it be one of them songs where they each have parts, because the altos are going to try to sing their part harder than the sopranos, and the sopranos going to have to sing their part harder than the tenors. And, the tenors be waiting for it to come to them. They look over there like, oh, okay, that's what we doing. And then they look over there like, oh, for real? And then they get over there and they do their part. Right. Trying to sing all hard because you a gang in the choir. Miss me. I'm stopped. Let me stop. Let's take a break. Segment brought to you by Lily and the Tax Doctor here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK. I gotta clean up. I'll be right back right after this on the lunch break.
Hi, my name is Lily. My mom and dad used to fight about money all the time. Then one day, I heard them talking about this guy, some uncle I never knew called Uncle Sam. Well, they say this Uncle Sam guy wanted them to pay him like $1 gazillion, and they didn't have $1 gazillion. So they called this company they heard on the radio called the Tax Doctor. And the Tax Doctor worked with Uncle Sam's people. I think they're called the IRS. And they were able to work it out so my mom and dad didn't have to pay Uncle Sam very much money at all. So now mom and dad are happy, and I'm happy too. Thanks, Tax Doctor.
If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS or state, call now and pay less. 800-603-9359. 800-603-9359. That's 800-603-9359.
My name is Devon McDonald from Jamaica, play with Indianapolis Colts, and listen, you listen to the lunch break.
All right, y'all, we back here on the lunch break. I got some choir folks. I got some church folk repping with me, man. Monique Smith said, I am laughing with you, black man. Let's see. C. Wright said, gangs in the choir, too funny, but so true. Y'all know how it goes. You know when you had them songs where everybody got their own part and you got to wait for them to do their part and then they put them together and then, then they stop the music and everybody is all hyped. Yes, that's my song. It's them gangs in the choir to get it going. Anyway, let me stop. It's Black History Month. You can shop for your African fashions at my favorite store, African Imports. They are there to take care of your Black history needs. Masks as low as $4.99, scarves and hats for $9.99. Your kids can get their dashikis for $14.99 and up. And parents, you can get yours for $29.99 and up. And ladies, those beautiful African dresses are over there at African Imports for only $39.99 and up. If you got an upcoming Black History program at your school, in your organization, or even virtually at your church, why don't you stop by African Imports in the Greenspoint Mall and mention KYOK and you'll get 10% off your purchase. That's African Imports in Greenspoint Mall, not far from the food court. Tell my friend Opie you heard it on the lunch break with AJ on KYOK and you'll get 10% off your purchase. Call them 281-875-0056. That's 281-875-0056 for African Imports. All right. Right. Just battling. Just up there battling. Uh-oh. Monica Morris Howard say, don't mess with the Sopranos. Yeah, let me leave y'all alone. Let me just throw up the deuces. Let me throw up the deuces on that. I ain't trying to battle with nobody's choir section. Baritone, right. Trying to get all loud. Sopranos ain't sang loud all their lives until they heard somebody else clap for the alto section. And then they come in all strong. Right. It's like, oh, y'all really can't sing. Don't clap louder for one section than the other. The other section's going to come in stronger than they ever have before. Hilarious. Choir gangs. Choir gangs. You ought to have a Super Bowl in the choir. The playoffs will be, okay, so it'll be the baritones against the tenors and the sopranos against the altos, and the winners of both those playoff games will meet in the choir Super Bowl. If y'all come up with this, I want it to be a reality TV show because I want to hear the practices. I want to hear the behind-the-scenes stuff. I want to hear all of it. And then I want to be the announcer for the Super Bowl, for the choir Super Bowl. I want to be the announcer. Ladies and gentlemen, coming all the way from the soprano section, wearing the blue and green robes, it's the Sopranos. And over here on this other side, wearing the brown and red robes. I know those colors don't meet, but they're coming strong with their song. It's the tenors. We're going to get that thing in. We'll get sponsors. We'll see if Kirk can do a drop for us, and you know this Kirk Franklin, and I want to root for the tenors. We'll get drops and everything. It'll be great. It'll be great. We'll get a drop from TD. Get ready. We'll get a drop from TD Jakes. I want to drop from Joel Osteen. Drop from. We'll let Joel Osteen tell a joke before the matchup. It's gonna be great. I'm serious now. Y'all like that Sunday's Best. We need to get a choir Super Bowl going. I'm telling you. And then don't get down to soloists. Don't get down to soloists where you got somebody from the soprano section versus somebody in the alto section versus somebody in the tenor section versus somebody in the baritone section. Baby, I'm on to something. Y'all listen, y'all don't mess with my paper now. I got this thing recorded, so I got a copyright timestamp on it. Monica say, you cutting up today. Monica say, look, AJ, we cool. Don't mess that up talking about soprano. I ain't messing it up. I'm trying to get y'all some money. I'm trying to get y'all some money. You know, most choirs, you got to pay dues. I'm trying to get y'all some dues to pay. To pay with. Have churches battling all across the country. We could do a March Madness for church choirs. I might be on to something. Y'all laughed at Don King when he was putting them boxing matches together. Now y'all wish y'all had Don King's money and his hair. Monique said, "Listen, you don't start. Hey, I got a vision. I got a vision. I'm gonna be the king of the choir Super Bowls. Child, we've been rented out one of these stadiums. Look, they ain't doing nothing with the Astrodome. We can rent that joker out and have about 200 choirs in there and just go at it all weekend long. You know how they have the Royal Rumble in wrestling? Had a Royal Rumble of choirs. Monique said, but ain't nothing to it but to do it. All right, I'm just telling you, don't steal my idea. Now, if you want to invest in it, hit me up, AJ, at IneedMyMoney.com. C Wright said, goodness. Don't hate me because I got visions. Don't hate me because I got ideas. Keith Henry trying to be in one of them choirs. He said, my baloney. He has a first name. It's Oscar. Monica said, you talking about it, but the young adult choir I sung in growing up, we did sing in competitions, but you didn't sing in this competition. This thing gonna be different. We ain't doing choir competitions. We doing the Super Bowl of choirs. We doing the Royal Rumble of choirs. You don't win until somebody gets thrown over the top rope. Might have one of them. We'll have a skills contest. We'll see if any of the sopranos can break glass. We're gonna see if any of the how low can the baritones go. Right. Whoever goes the lowest. Man, I got visions. I got ideas. I got to get ready to go though. And before I do, I have to announce the winner of the lunch break, Keeping Up with the Joneses, Pick'em Challenge, the playoff edition, and most specifically, the Super Bowl edition. And it came down to 3 players out of the 6. George Griffin, Big Time Floyd, and Keisha Kelley got eliminated after the conference championship. And it came down to Milo, Chi-Town, and Ferdinand. Milo, Chi-Town, and Ferdinand. All 3 of them had a chance to win based on how well they picked last night's game. So let's get to the results. Ferdinand had the Kansas City Chiefs. So Ferdinand was already eliminated. Both Milo and Chi-Town picked the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So you know what that means. That means it came down to the final score. And I got to tell you, both of them were very close. In fact, Milo had a final score for Tampa Bay of 31 points. That's exactly what they scored. Chi-Town had the final score of 35 points for the winning Tampa Bay Buccaneers, so he was off by 4. But we had to go to the second score. Chi-Town had the Kansas City Chiefs scoring 21 points. They only scored 9, so he was off by 12 for a combined 16-point differential from the final score. Milo, who was absolutely perfect on the score for Kansas City with 31, had a final score of 28 for the Kansas City Chiefs. He was off by 18, so a total of 18 came in second to Chi-Town, who was only off by 16. Only a 2-point differential for the winner, Chi-Town, for the second season in a row. Kansas City didn't go back-to-back last night, but Chi-Town went back-to-back last night. He won $600 last night. Milo, great job. Great job, Milo. Milo was the one that literally walked Ferdinand down in the regular season and was right in it to the end, but Chi-Town got the win. Now, let me just say this, and I want everybody to hear me so y'all can be my witnesses. Last year, Chi-Town did not give us a video. He didn't give us audio. He did not call in. And I am going to hold his money up until I hear from Chi-Town directly. So Chi-Town, I know you don't have social media. I know you're not on Facebook. I know you don't do Twitter. I know you're a little bit older, but bro, you're gonna have to call us. You're gonna have to record something. You have to do something. I know you work different hours. I know you'll probably go back and listen to the playback, and I appreciate your grandkids for letting you use their Facebook to listen to the playback. But you're gonna have to send us something before I send you this money. Did I tell him what I needed to say? Did I say it right, y'all? Ain't that fair? That's fair, right? If he doesn't send us a link or something, I don't send him this money. What a finish, though. What a finish. Great job, Milo. Great job, Chi-Town. Great job, Ferdinand. Great job, George Griffin. Great job, Big Time Floyd. And great job, Keisha Kelley. And then great job to everyone who competed all season long. But that being said, Chi-Town, I mean what I say. I ain't sending you this money until you send us something. I don't care if it's a recorded message. Hey, y'all, this Chi-Town, and I'm just grateful, and I won all that money on the lunch break on KYOK. At least that, bro. I at least ought to be able to get a drop out of you. So, anyway, we'll see how it goes down. All right, I got to get ready to go. Great time here on Media Monday. I can't thank God enough for my friend Keisha Kelley, Black College Experience. Y'all be sure and follow her. I got the website up there. It's www.blackcollegeexperienceinc.com. Go to her website, click on her link to donate, and help get her over the $5,000 scholarship award. She's giving that money out 100%. No processing fees, no administration fees, and she's getting that to students that need it. So, again, help my girl out, Keisha Kelley. And then, as always, y'all, we got Donnie McClurkin coming up with the Donnie McClurkin Show in the morning, Erica Campbell and Griff. And later on tomorrow, you got Dr. Sylvia Cole. And then I'll be back with Team Texas Tuesday. As always, let's not be divided. Let's be united. I love you. There's nothing you can do about it. Wear your mask. Wash your hands. Sanitize everything around you. Be sensitive to everybody around you. And when you see that racism, kill it. Not the person, but the racism. And again, y'all have a great rest of your day. HBCUs, I love you. All right, here's Sybil Wilkes with her COVID update right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK.
It's Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know today. President Joe Biden's coronavirus stimulus relief plan is still on track to become a reality within the next several weeks. However, all of the proposals in the plan may not be included. During the Sunday night airing of an interview with CBS News, the president admitted the measure to raise the federal minimum wage to $15 an hour will not likely make his COVID-19 relief plan. Biden added he is prepared to negotiate a separate plan, but some Democrats and most Republicans are resistant. Black churches nationwide are stepping up to make the coronavirus available to those disproportionately hurt by the pandemic. This comes after early data shows that white Americans are being vaccinated at a much higher rate than black and brown people. Faith leaders from Washington, D.C. to Florida are teaming up with government officials to encourage people in their communities to get vaccinated at their churches while easing fears about the shots. Please visit SybilWilkes.com to subscribe to my free daily newsletter. Be informed, be empowered.
Somebody need to show some respect.
All right, y'all, man, I hope y'all enjoyed today's show. I was so fired up about coming in and doing it because I knew Keisha Kelley was going to join me, and it meant the world to me to get her input on my work on power ranking the HBCU coaches. I mean, again, I literally had to go to multiple sources and dig up information, compile information, because sadly, it's not readily available like other coaches. If you Google, give me the top 10, top 20, top 50 college football coaches of all time. So I'm going to put this out there so that if somebody else Googles it, guess what? They can find current information on HBCU head coaches. So, and I'll be updating it all throughout the season because the HBCUs matter. And again, y'all, man, a great job last night by Tampa Bay. Congratulations, Keith Hennick. Congratulations for repping your favorite team, your town. We'll see who does it in basketball. We'll see who does it in black college football coming up in the spring. And, of course, we'll see who does it coming next fall when, football gets back going. So, y'all, as always, not this, definitely this. I love y'all. Y'all have a great rest of your day. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Team Texas Tuesday.